What's up? It's Gunnar Gehl here. I just did an interview with The Plug where we talked about live shows, new music, COVID, obviously, and the things coming out of it. And yeah, come check it out.
Welcome back to The Plug. I'm Penny, she's Olivia, and today we have the Gunnar Gehl. Hey.
What's going on?
All right, so I've been noticed you've been a little quiet with music lately. Your last EP came out in October, and you've had some singles dropping. So can you tell us about anything you've been working on now, or like in the past couple months, or can we expect a new era soon?
Yeah, the EP that came out in the beginning of COVID was a really big deal for me. It was kind of the first group of songs, batch of music that I'd finally kind of been able to put out together. So that was a really big one for me. And then, yeah, as soon as that was out, we had the next batch ready. We have, I'd say, like maybe half of an album right now, and we started to put some out as singles because it just, with the way that COVID was going and no shows, and it was hard to like get a lot of momentum in the industry, that we just decided to put singles out and kind of see what happens and see what songs poke their heads out. And I think now that we're seeing, like I said, the light at the end of the tunnel is finally like showing a little bit. There's a part of me that's like ready to open up the next part of my career, like sonically and musically, and tap into kind of a more mature side of my music. And I think this little pause has been good because people have seen, they got the first kind of batch of songs from me that shows a lot of like the music that I put together and how I was raised and kind of like, where my head was for most of my childhood and growing up. And that was the 1 second and 1 day stuff. And then the newer singles that came out were like, more down the middle pop stuff and really kind of just feel good music and like, let's get through this positive stuff. And I think this next batch of songs is a lot deeper and has a lot more, like purpose and meaning. And I don't know, it just feels like a cooler, more mature side of myself that I haven't really seen come out yet in my music.
Awesome, yeah. So obviously you want to go in a little bit of a different direction with what you're working on now, but how would you categorize your style of music and your writing style overall?
I definitely make pop music and I love pop music. I think that it's like, similar to country in a way. It's like universal, I think that a big pop song that makes people feel good is something that goes, global and that makes people around the world sing the same words. So I genuinely love pop music. I think my music is definitely kind of will always be in the pop lane, no matter how left or right it goes. It kind of will always stay in the middle. But when it comes to songwriting, it's weird. It's like I don't necessarily. There's times where you sit down and you're like, let's write a big chorus that's like a sing-along chorus, and then there's times where I just want to get things off my chest, or we're with writers and we want to just tell a cool story. And writing is always different for me, and it always kind of depends on the session and what the emotions are that day. But it always turns to kind of have that hooky chorus, and I think that it's cool because that shows what I like and my style. And I love to get really descriptive and tell the story in the verses, and then let the chorus kind of be the broader concept and idea. And I think it'll always be kind of down the middle pop stuff. It'll go a little bit left and right depending on how I feel that day or that month or that writing period.
I agree. You got to have those big choruses. And how did you get to that point where you? Because I know when everyone starts, it's kind of everywhere. Like we could go a little bit country, we could go alternative. So how did you find your niche, and like, I guess, how did you get into music and just that whole journey of finding yourself?
Yeah, I mean, everyone starts in like weird lanes when they first get going, and mine was very singer-songwritery, very like acoustic. All I wanted to be was like John Mayer. And then
Isn't everyone?
I know. And then I grew into myself a little bit, and I think I got really lucky because I got put on tour really fast, and that was a huge eye-opener to me because I instantly saw what connected and what people liked and what people, what felt the best in the room with other people. And, I came off that tour with so much like, songwriting momentum and music momentum that I knew exactly what I wanted to do and write, and you know, the type of music, and that's, you know, what that first EP was, is just big fun choruses, lots of energy, lots of live instruments, and just like an exciting live show type of songs. So yeah, I think the first tour that I did really helped kind of sculpt exactly, like, I knew I wanted to do pop, and you know, that's kind of always been what I've listened to and liked. I grew up, you know, mixed listening to like what my parents were listening to, which was like rock music, and then I have sisters who were about a year and a half younger than me, and they were just all Disney Channel, all, you know, like yeah. One Direction, Hannah Montana, like down the middle pop music. And so like I had these roots of rock, pop, and that's kind of where my heart and head was at. But I definitely think touring at the start helped like really create and cement in like that I wanted to do the big pop stuff.
So you mentioned tour. Do you have any crazy tour stories to tell us?
Besides the stool.
Yeah.
The stool is a good one.
Besides the stool,
I mean, tour.
3 times.
Touring's like it's my end all be all favorite thing about the whole music industry. And I mean, the stories are endless. Like, there's a million stories every tour. But one that I like to say this was my first tour that I'd ever done. Only tour that I've ever done. And it was like after the second show. So the first show happened, and everyone was like, who is Gunnar, basically? And the first show happened, and that really helped kind of, you know, all the fans watch the stories and like watch other people who are at the show stories. And so it picked up really fast that, like, you know, who I was, what the music was, that people, you know, were having a good time at the show. And so the first show was like an incredible start. The second show was like amazing. And then we had an off day on the third day. And you know, I had just started. I had no idea like about the life that this was or whatever. And we had an off day. We were in some random town in Oregon, and we went to a mall. It was an incredibly nice mall, and they had this like laser tag, a laser tag venue or whatever. And in the waiting room was like 1,000 TV screens with Xbox, and it was when Fortnite was like at its biggest point. And so me and one of the band members of the band I was on tour with, we were just playing video games on these like screens. And we sat down, and time flies obviously, and we sat down and played a couple games, and like I'd say an hour and a half later we finally like took our headsets off, and we're like, yeah, cool, like we get up. And then by the time that we'd sat down and turned around, like we were so in our zone right here, and then after an hour and a half we turned around, and there was like 50 fans and people behind, like all watching us. And I was like, how long have they been here? I've had headphones on this whole time. I had no
watching
idea.
you gaming.
Yeah, it was so funny, and it was the first moment where I was like, whoa, like this is like real, and this is happening. Like, these are real people that are, you know, that have driven from wherever they've driven because someone said we're at a mall and they came to the mall. So that was like, I like to tell that story because that was like the first moment on tour where I was like, whoa, it's like, this is a cool moment.
People coming
people
from
are
all
watching.
over to watch you game,
Scary.
apparently.
I know.
Hey, well, besides video games, what other things are you into besides music?
I mean, tons of stuff. Like I said, I love to golf. I love to be outside. Love to travel more than anything. I love the ocean. I love the beach. I love warm weather. I have, like, in the last 6 months, really started working out a lot for the first time in my life. So that's been really good. It's getting in good shape.
Yeah.
Started cooking a lot lately, and that's been fun. I mean, I don't know. I feel like so many little things, but I think, like, besides music, my favorite, like, hobby right now is golf, for sure. Yeah, guilty.
It's a good quarantine hobby to pick up, I feel like, or
Yeah.
even if you were into it all the time, but
Yeah.
outside and everything.
Yeah,
100%.
so
What does it look like in your horizons right now? What are you looking at in the next few months?
yeah, for me, the future is all about touring. It's like, that's our whole team, everyone, our focus is tours, and that's where all of our, our focus and our effort is right now, is just getting me on the road and doing shows, and starting to, like, get that in-person fan base going, how it was before. And I think with COVID, the way that it happened, and like TikTok, the way it blew up, and all these, like these new artists and influencers, whatever, through TikTok, like there was a long stagnant period for everybody on social media because there was no like in-person, anything going on. So I think that, the music that we have in store is incredible. The songs that we have, I'm so excited about, but I think the focus right now is definitely tours. And then once we have some stuff lined up, that gives kind of the purpose to bring the music back out full force and really see the momentum pick back up.
Yeah. And you said you have a first show lined up, and then what's your plan for a tour, I guess?
Yeah, so I'm doing a show in LA on September 16th. It's a really kind of a small private type of thing. I think we're letting in only a select group of people, and it's more of just of a get back into it thing where, this is the first time I get to perform these songs, like
welcome
even
back.
Since,
Yeah.
I know. So it's kind of just the first entry into bringing the live performance back, kind of get my feet wet again, and then let real tours and real shows kind of take control.
It's been such a crazy thing to see artists getting back into it. It's like a whole new ball game.
And it's gonna be really cool to see, watch artists really kind of shine again, and like this whole wave that's been going on, like with TikTok or whatever and everything. It's like everyone's doing music right now, so I know that I'm just excited for people to kind of see the live stuff again and really kind of remember the live moments, and what makes an artist and a song even more special is the live performance and being able to like experience it in person with that energy. And I'm just excited for everyone to experience that again.
Love it. We're all very excited.
Yeah, 100%. How have you been using social media since there has been a big gap between like touring and stuff? How have you found like to use social media in order to promote your music and just to build your fan base?
Yeah, social media it's been weird for me, to be honest, during this whole thing. Like I definitely think that like from the beginning of when I started this to now, like my peak was before COVID hit for sure, because just like I'm a people's person. I like to be face to face. I like to have kind of those moments, and I think there's only like so much that at least for me comes across through social media. And so there was a time where we were trying, we did a live stream series. That was a really good way to kind of stay connected and get the music out there and promoted. And then went through a time of just like really trying to focus on TikTok and see if we could get a couple videos viral and songs viral, whatever. And, I think like I'm at a point now where there is kind of this, I've said this already now twice, but now that there is this kind of light at the end of the tunnel that I can see, I'm just I want to just be myself and not try too hard on like trying to go for the viral thing, go for this and that. I think that the music and the live performances and the fan, the me to other people engagement and reactions is going to be, more important than all that stuff. I think that social media has forever been just as important as everything else, and that during, COVID, it became the number one thing. And I totally get it, and I respect everyone who's really good at it. For me, I think that, I do better face to face and in person. And I don't know, I've struggled a little bit during the COVID stuff with social media and whatnot. Obviously staying connected with fans is easy, but like growth over this last year and a half has been tough. So yeah, everyone's gonna come to the show. The next time they're gonna bring a friend, and the next time they're gonna bring two friends, and their friend's gonna bring a friend. That's the goal, Just let the show, let the face-to-face, in-person stuff speak for itself.
Yeah, your music's definitely made for tour.
Yeah.
Like imagine like everyone singing like you said, those choruses. Exactly. And the stool. I'm so ready for the stool.
Yeah, I'll bring it out. I'll bring the stool back out.
Part 4.
And the bandana, the whole thing.
That's right.
Well, it was so great talking with you. This has been an awesome conversation for sure, and just getting to know you. And we are so excited for new music and tour, hopefully coming near us soon. Because
I know.
now after our...
Are you Nashville based? Is that where you guys are in
Yes,
Nashville?
yeah.
I'm in Phoenix, but
Nashville.
she's in Nashville. So
Wow, let's go. Phoenix
different
Suns.
time zones.
Devin Booker. Let's go. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for having me.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.